Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the New York City Council vote on the Committee on Governmental Operations, State and Federal Legislation. At this time, please silence all electronics and do not approach the dais. Please do not approach the dais. Thank you for your cooperation, Chair. You may begin.
Good morning. My name is Lincoln Ressler, and I have the privilege of chairing the Committee on Governmental Operations, State and Federal Legislation. I would like to start by thanking my colleagues who have joined us for today's vote, including Councilmember Gail Brewer, Councilmember Lynn Schulman, Councilmember David Carr of Brooklyn, and my neighbor, Councilmember Shahana Hanif. And Councilmember Jennifer Gutierrez is online, and Councilmember Jim Gennaro is online. Thank you both for being with us this morning. Today we'll be voting on Resolution 740 and Intro 564A, sponsored by Councilmember Gail Brewer. I'll first speak to Resolution 740, which I'm the lead sponsor on. This is a resolution that calls on the state to pass legislation sponsored by the great State Senator Liz Krueger and Assemblymember Tony Simone, and eliminates the power of mayors to block charter revision proposals from local legislatures and from voters. Currently, the mayor can block any council or voter proposal that could reach the ballot by hastily convening his own charter commission, which Mayor Adams has now done not once, but twice. He first blocked the Speaker's advice and consent legislation, and now is blocking the Speaker's charter commission. Under the proposed legislation, all proposals would move forward to the ballot for a vote. Leave it up to the voters. Mayor Adams' repeated politicization of the charter revision process demonstrates the importance and the urgency of this legislation. It is essential that we restore the balance to the charter revision process and allow an avenue for thoughtful, meaningful proposals to reach voters. I greatly appreciate Speaker Adrienne Adams' leadership in pushing for this legislation and making it a top priority for the Council in Albany this year, and for her dedication to ensuring there's an opportunity for meaningful proposals to reach the voters. I'd also like to thank the 20-plus colleagues who signed on as co-sponsors of this legislation, including council members on the committee, Jim Gennaro, Gail Brewer, and Shahana Hanif. I just want to say that over many administrations, as far back as I can count, mayors have used this power of creating a charter revision commission to block good proposals from reaching voters. This isn't just an Eric Adams problem. This is a good governance problem. And this proposal that really has been spearheaded originally by Dick Gottfried way back when, and now by Tony Simone and Liz Krueger in Albany, and by our speaker here at City Hall, is a smart way for us to ensure that good ideas can reach voters and that we can make meaningful changes to our charter as needed. Intro 564A, sponsored by Councilmember Gail Brewer, would require the Department of Records to create a public database of social media posts from official government accounts. Doris has incredible archives of our city's history, and it is essential that we ensure that it continues to moving forward and into the 21st century. Records that omit social media accounts are inherently incomplete. I really appreciate Councilmember Brewer's commitment to Doris always. Over many decades, she has been been the leading champion for Doris, and smartly worked to preserve municipal records, and social media accounts are the latest area where she is having a lasting impact. With that, I will turn it over to Councilmember Brewer.
Thank you very much, Chair Ressler. And yes, as you suggested, this is 564 is really about social media posts because they are now official government records. 564 requires Doris, which is both records and the municipal library, to maintain a publicly accessible and searchable online database of the social media posts and websites of government officials, and requires city agencies and officials to provide Doris with a list of each social media account in use. I do want to thank Pauline Toole, who is a commissioner and a great commissioner at that. And the reason I'm so supportive of this is I believe in archives. When I was in the city council previously, to the credit of Mayor Bloomberg, he was trying to save money, so he was going to incorporate Doris into DCAS. I was then chair of government operations. I had a fit. And then when de Blasio came in, to his credit, he undid any operational merger. So today we have a separate agency. And I learned as a result, having met with literally every archivist in the city, if not the state of New York, and trying to keep the two agencies separate, the importance of our archives. And I just want to shout out to all the people in the past, and I know who they are, who have not given their papers to Doris. This would also add the social media accounts. Thank you very much.
Councilmember Brewer, while you're on the record, is there anyone who you'd like to call out by name?
No, but I could give it to you offline. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And thank you for this great bill, and thank you for your kind words about Commissioner Pauline Toole. She is a treasure. With that, I'd like to thank Erica Cohen and Jayshree Ganapathy for their hard work on this, and my Chief of Staff, Molly Haley, who does a phenomenal job. With that, I'll now ask the clerk to call the roll.
Good morning. Just wanted to make sure. Good morning. William Martin, Committee Clerk. Roll call vote, Committee on Governmental Operations, State and Federal Legislation on proposed introduction 564A and Resolution 740. Items are coupled. Chair Ressler.
Aye on all.
Gennaro.
Aye.
Thank you. Brewer.
Aye.
Gutierrez.
Aye.
Thank you. Hanif.
Aye.
Schulman.
Aye.
Carr.
Permission to explain my vote?
Permission granted.
Thank you, Chair. I just want to say a few words about the resolution with respect to the Charter Revision Commission. Primarily I see the revision of the charter as a legislative matter. And so to me, it's quite appropriate that the council should always retain the ability to put referenda on the ballot for charter revisions, regardless of whether there is a contemporaneous Charter Revision Commission that is ongoing. And this isn't about whether I support or oppose the particular ballot measures that we've attempted to put on the ballot in the last couple of years. It's really just a matter of process. And to me, there is a sufficient check on this council in the form of the mayoral veto, which is maintained even if this revision were to take effect. And so, in my opinion, that this is simply giving to the legislative body a more balanced fighting posture when it comes to the revision of the charter, which again I see as a fundamentally legislative process. So it's not any comment on any particular matter that's before the voters, or could be, but I do think that it's appropriate for the council to always maintain the prerogative, either with the consent of the mayor or through an override of a mayoral veto, to put a measure on the ballot before the public, and ultimately it's they that get to decide whether the charter gets revised. So with that being said, I vote aye on all.
Thank you, Councilmember Carr. I'd like to associate myself with those thoughtful remarks.
Vernikov.
Aye.
Palladino. With a vote of 7 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, and no abstentions, both items have been adopted by the committee.
Great. Are we waiting for Vicky? Then we're going to adjourn. Thank you so much.